The morning starts quietly, and when I say quietly, I mean the kind of quiet you only find in places like this, Olmo al Brembo, one of those really old alpine villages where the stone houses have been standing longer than anyone can remember, and the wooden balconies overlook streets so narrow you wonder how merchants ever passed through with loaded mules. But they did. For centuries they did. Because before the mountain bikers arrived, before the tourists, before the trail maps, this whole valley was a working trade route. Salt, cheese, wine, fabric, all of it moving through these mountains on the Via Mercatorum, connecting Venice to the Swiss Alps. You're literally riding on history here. And then there's the bike, brand new, still getting used to it, but honestly, already loving it. The way it handles on the loose stuff, we'll get to that, but yeah, good day to be testing a new machine. The first few kilometers ease you in gently, following the road upstream towards Averara. And this is where you start to notice things. The way the valley begins to squeeze tighter, the forest thickening, the mountains just rising above you like walls being pulled slowly upright. Averara stops you in your tracks. There's this ancient covered street built for merchants centuries ago. Stone arches overhead, old wooden beams, frescoes slowly fading under the alpine damp. Riding through it is genuinely strange, not in a bad way. Just, it doesn't feel like cycling. It feels like slipping into another century. And when you slow down through there, you actually notice it. The texture of the stone, the way the light drops, the silence that lives inside those arches. You know, some places reward you for going slow, for simply slowing down. The climb continues to Santa Brigida, and this is where everything changes. The route leaves the asphalt, the trail dives into the woods, and immediately the world shrinks down to what's right in front of your wheel. It's narrow, technical, the tires biting into dirt and roots and old pine needles. Bird sounds replace engine noise, the forest closing on around you. And look, I'll be honest, am I relying on Google Maps? Yeah, little bit. Keep checking. The signage up here is, well, not that great, but you know what? When you spot my phone on the handlebars, if you want to give this video a like, that's your moment. Do it now. I'll keep riding. This single track is one of those trails that feels like it was made for mountain biking without anyone planning it that way. Technical enough to keep you honest, flowing enough to feel almost magical, hypnotic. And every few minutes the trees suddenly open, just for a second, and you catch the rooftops of Santa Brigida far below and the deep green walls of Val Brembana dropping away beneath you. Okay, we went from stone roads to narrow single track, and what comes next? Well, after Oratorio, the route reconnects with the mountain road heading up to Piani dell'Avaro. And this is where the ride turns epic. The climb gets steeper. The forest peels away behind you. The landscape opens wider and wider until you're looking out over the full sweep of the Orobie Alps. This is why the families come up here every summer. Livestock, high altitude grasslands, the famous cheeses. This is centuries of alpine pastoral life played out on these very same slopes. And then, after the final bend, the plateau, wide alpine meadows, open sky. The only sounds are cowbells and wind and your own breathing finally slowing down. The Rifugio dell'Avaro sits there in the middle of it all, like an old outpost that never got the memo about the modern world. It hasn't moved on. The drone goes up here. It has to. And from above, it all makes sense. The tiny roads threading through the grasslands, the rugged peaks framing everything. The Rifugio alone in all that green, the kind of view that makes the whole climb worth it the second you see it. It's time for lunch at the mountain bar, and yes, I earned it. Simple food, cold drink, boots and bikes outside in the sun. These refuges or refugios are part of what makes the Italian Alps what they are. Places where hikers and shepherds and bikers all end up at the same table, trading weather reports and route tips and stories about what broke on the way up. Do we have time for one last stop before the descent? Oh yes, we do. A short ride to the Cristo Redentore, and suddenly the whole valley is laid out below you. Cusio, Santa Brigida, Averara, Olmo al Brembo. Ridge after ridge, fading into the distance. Built to watch over the communities living in these mountains. Then the descent, fast, the same villages coming back one by one under the warm afternoon light. The new bike doing exactly what I hoped it would. And by the time I roll back into Olmo al Brembo, it doesn't feel like just me and a bike ride. It feels like I covered something. I explored something. Old trade routes, hidden trails, alpine culture, and my favorite, mountain food. The kind of places that are still exactly what they were if you slow down, if you know where to look. If you made it this far in my video, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.